treasures in his soul. Fishing for gold, I found a key to unlock the door to my mind's gate. Hidden with some hieroglyphs. Told me about my future and my past, and that I should get. Hey folks, welcome to MLB Pro Radio on a brand new platform. I have been using Spreaker over the last couple of weeks, and our fearless commissioner, Mr. Matt Eisenberg, almost 100% positive that is correct, set me up with a YouTube channel. Apparently, I'll be able to live stream and things like that, so we might be able to do some live game calls on Sundays and all that kind of good stuff we used to get into a couple seasons back when we had a more robust radio presence than just my moronic self. But it looks like for now I'm just going to have to record it and upload it because we're having some technical difficulties. So I just wanted to take some time here in the middle of my workday because I get tired of working to go ahead and recap all the games from yesterday. There was some pretty interesting action. A couple of sweeps were completed, and some teams got in a win call for the first time. So again, this will be very similar to what we've been putting out the last couple of days. Not a lot of theoretical talk, not a lot of opinions, although let's be honest, a whole bunch of opinions are going to sneak in here. Really the main goal is to talk about what happened in the games, point out some notable performances and things like that. So we will start this time in the National League and talk about one of, in my opinion, one of the most surprising sweeps of the early season, and not because Milwaukee is not a good team, just because Colorado is a really good team. And so when we pitched these two teams against one another, I was not expecting Colorado to get swept, much less not score a run in the first two games. They actually did get on the board here. Wednesday lost 7-5. Jumped off to they were down right out of the gate. Wow, out of the gate here. Held a 4-2 lead at one point, but Milwaukee took it right back. So Milwaukee has been all over Colorado, even with too many two errors again tonight. Milwaukee has just been dominant in this series. So kudos to Milwaukee after a great start, 3-0. And the scary part about that, if you are watching at home, is that Esteban Hernandez is still out. Esteban Hernandez is out for another 7 weeks, along with a couple other guys, Klaus Binder, Bongers, the Whirlwind, still out as well. Not nearly the impact that Esteban Hernandez has on this team. I mean, that guy is an MVP candidate every time he steps on the mound. Johnny Cueto also out, pitched great for them last year. So Milwaukee's only going to get better without having to make any moves at all as this season goes forward. They're starting out 3-0. You got to feel great about that if you're a Brewers fan. As far as individual performances during the game, the notable ones, Jack McNeil continues his early season dominance, 2 for 4, 2 home runs. No, that can't be right. No, his second home run, 2 for 4, his second home run, driven 3 RBIs. Did strike out twice, but I mean the man has been on fire. But 500, 2 home runs, 6 RBIs in the first series. You gotta love that. Mateo also off to continue his hot start, 2 for 3, drove in a run. That's his first RBI of the season. And Adam Eaton in the leadoff spot did again go 1 for 2, walked twice. Him and Hank Conger both batting over 400. You gotta be super pleased. I mean, this has been a fantastic series for Milwaukee all the way around. On the flip side, Colorado. Jeff McKinley, I think I picked him for he's definitely going to be the top catcher in the league. This guy's got a legitimate shot to be a perennial all-star and a perennial MVP candidate. The man is a monster at a very, very scary position. He went 2 for 5. He hit his first home run of the year. He hit 364 early on in the season. Marrero went 3 for 5. Cardenas went 2 for 5. Some of these big guys for Colorado are getting on base. And they finally ended up scoring some runs today, but they just couldn't keep pace with the Brewers, who have been slugging the crap out of the ball. 16 runs, I believe, in the first 3 games. So, congratulations to the Brewers. Great performance, and congratulations on that sweep. I am sure Colorado will be ecstatic to get you out of town. The Brew Crew head to... No, they stay at home in Chicago. The Cubbies coming in town. The Cubbies actually 2-1 after down in the Cardinals. And we will probably touch on that one next for the first division series for these two teams. Just for Milwaukee. As far as Colorado, I'm having to do this all by hand. Colorado goes home and they get the Dodgers in town. which is it's a nice breather for them. No offense to the Dodgers, but they are in not as great a shape as most of these other teams. They just dropped two to San Diego. Big up to the Padres. Big up to Sean. Shout out to Sean out in San Diego. So they'll be pretty excited about that. But like I mentioned, let's get into let's talk about the Cubs real quick. The Cubs and the Cardinals just wrapped up their series. The Cubs got their second win with a shutout today, 3-0 over the Cardinals, and it was a great game. They lost their opener, took a day off, they come back and they've won two. So 3-0. Mark Sorensen went 8 innings. Do y'all remember Mark Sorensen? I remember the talk about him a couple years ago. It was Sorensen for MVP craziness that the Jabs was pushing. That was a lot of fun. Anyway, Sorensen got the W, going 8 innings, striking out four, with 3 hits, 4 walks. Keith Bell comes on for his second save of the season with another perfect, well, not perfect, he gets a hit, but another nice ninth inning. Tyler Skaggs, hard luck loser, which 4 innings, 93 pitches in 4 innings, only 53 of those for strikes, so he has had some real trouble sticking in that strike zone. You have 2 runs, 3 hits, but again, you can't walk 4. You can't throw 40 balls in 4 innings and expect to stay in the game long. Bullpen did a great job for the Redbirds there. 5 innings, 1 run. You'll take that any day of the week out of your bullpen. But couldn't get anything going offensively. Sorensen was masterful on the bump. Seager continued to struggle in the leadoff. He's only got 1 hit on the year. He's really been a problem for the Cardinals starting early here. Weeders is hitting well. I mean, Carlos Correa, good God, this kid is going to be something spectacular. Rumor has it the Atlanta organization inquired on Correa earlier this year and was told to screw themselves. But he's off to a nice start. So he's gonna be really fun to watch this year. Cardinals don't have anything to worry about. 1 and 2 start is not ideal, but again, it's just 3 games. The Cardinals will bounce back. They'll be totally fine. As we already mentioned, Cubbies got a trip to Milwaukee on tap next, and actually the Cardinals will stay at home, and the Reds are coming in town. So that will be a fun series, especially the way the Reds have been playing, and it sounds like a pretty decent transition. Let's go check out the Reds game last night. I apologize for the seemingly nonsensical order we're going in here, but the Reds are 2-0. So I guess what that tells me is that St. Louis will take a day off tomorrow, and they'll have the Reds in town. But the Reds are 2-0 against the Phillies, a team that finished well over 500 last year, has a great core. I know GM John Comey is way down on these guys. He's publicly lambasted the team and the front office, including himself, multiple times. But I like the team they've got here. Their pitching staff is very good. They spent some money on some interesting places, specifically Will Chambers got a pretty nice payday out of the Phils to hit leadoff. He's hitting 286 against 2 games, but he's getting on base. But the Phillies dropped 2 of the Reds, a team that honestly I did not expect much out of this year. They dropped their biggest bat, who was, let's be honest, a cancer, just a clubhouse cancer, but they got a couple young pieces back, and they're off to a good start. Matthews with the 7 innings, 3 earned runs. I'll take that out any day of the week from him. Yeah, I like that a lot. So congrats to the Reds on your second win of the season. Zaragoza, the guy can just flat out maul the ball. Augusto Garcia having a great start as well, a couple home runs in the year. Just hit a second today. So, the Reds are an interesting team. They could do some damage this year. Watch out for the old Reds from Cincinnati. Scott Gesper been telling us he knows what he's doing all along, and it looks like he finally may be proving it here. Let's go ahead and talk about my Atlanta Braves. I'm supposed to be impartial, but fuck that. It's my radio show. They got their first one of the year. They took on the New York Mets again up in Flushing. Is that where the Mets play? Flushing, New York? I believe so. And yeah, so 3-2 win. Another long performance, this time from Zach Greinke. He went 8 innings. This dude is just a tank. He's going to be an innings eater as long as he stays healthy. 8 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs. And struck out 3, so nothing too spectacular, but those 8 innings are huge. Get the bullpen a rest. Marmol comes in, walks 2, but does strike out 2 to get the save. So typical wildness, but somehow getting the job done for Marmol. The big concern for Atlanta is that Anthony Goose, leadoff man, he's over 8 with, I believe he's 5 5 times already this year. Is that, I mean, he went 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts in this game. And yeah, he's 0 for 8 with 5 strikeouts to 2 games. That is not what you're looking for at a table setter guy. Ballard struggling. Armando Cabanas, really the lone bright spot here. I guess you could say Ochoa has been anybody. He went 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts today too. Cabanas has really carried this team through the first couple of games to a 1-1 record. Not very spectacular. But yes, I mean that's the story for the Braves. The Mets, Vega pitched well, 6 innings, 3 runs. I mean, it's not great. He did strike out 8 base runners on, and Salas and Logan combined to not a single base runner for the last 3 innings of the game. So good job with their bullpen. We all knew that for the spectacular bullpen, but they do drop the game. So game 3 of that series is coming tonight. Tyler Pill versus Max Scherzer. 2 guys who were great last year. Max Scherzer has had back-to-back years in 2015 and 2016 of an exactly 3.23 ERA. So he's the model of consistency. Max Scherzer is a very good pitcher. And Tyler Pill, he did not win Rookie of the Year last year, and I will never understand that. So him and Barnes for this team both could have been considered Rookie of the Years. They could at least have been up to consideration. But Pill had a 2.63 ERA. To Matt Barnes, I believe at 3.23. So I don't understand that at all. I guess you can make arguments for other things, but I mean, yeah, I just don't get it. I think Barnes had a couple more strikeouts. His numbers were, he had 208 strikeouts, pitched 200 innings, so he could pitch a little more. Anyway, Tyler Pill was great last year for Atlanta. Pill versus Scherzer heading into tomorrow. Another really surprising situation. I guess the Braves winning a game isn't what I call surprising. They should win a couple of games, but the Diamondbacks have taken 2 from the Giants, and I would put that right up there with just as surprising the fact that Milwaukee won and swept Colorado. Arizona was a team that a lot of folks expected to get dominated this year, but they have been great. Michael Wacha pitched a great game, and they were able to take down the Giants 6-3. So, you know, again, I'm going to stop prefacing everything I say with it's early in the year, because you all know it's early in the year. We get it. But it's fun to see these guys out here. I mean, Chris Owings at 857 batting average. Are you kidding me? That's ridiculous. That is clearly going to cool down, but hell, enjoy the ride. I mean, Lonnie Michael, is that what his name is? Lonnie Michael, the second baseman, hitting leadoff. Levi Michael, excuse me, Levi. 714. Richie Dixon hitting 444. I mean, these guys are red hot. And they're taking advantage of it, getting a couple early wins here in the month of April. Keep it up, Diamondbacks. Prove everybody wrong. Giants, on the other hand, only managed 3 runs on 5 hits. You know that's not going to do it. But this team was never built to score a lot of runs, and the Giants aren't going to outslug people or anything like that. They pitch, they play small ball, and you still have to expect them to be in the mix for this division. But as I've said before, National League West is wide open. Somebody can win 80 games in that division. You're probably going to take it down. So who knows? Arizona, I mean, yeah, you're not a great team, but 80 wins, that's in the grasp for anybody. You win 80 games, you win a division, you make the playoffs, anything can happen in a 5-6 game series. So who knows? Don't get your hopes up too far in the desert there, but things aren't looking as terrible as you might have thought. Washington. Let's head out to Washington, where Washington Nationals took on the Miami Marlins in their second game of the series, and they got win number 2. They scored 11 runs in the first game on Monday. Took yesterday off, making out and won 2-0 today. Gio Gonzalez went 8 innings with 3 hits and struck out 8, and the dude was spectacular. Manny Benuelos went 8 innings as well, and a great outing for him. This was going to be a great matchup from the start. Gio Gonzalez, Manny Benuelos is a great matchup to watch. He went 8 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, 10 strikeouts. Both were about 100 pitches. You can't really fault them here. They both had 4 hits. The Marlins just fell at the wrong spots, and the Nationals didn't. So, great pitching matchup for those of you that enjoy that kind of thing. I mean, hopefully you're watching that game because you're really going to like it. 2 hours and 15 minutes. That is a short baseball game. 2 hours and 15 minutes. Good God. Anyway, congrats to the Washington Nationals for their place atop the National League East for the moment at 2-0, and then Marlins share the basement with the Phils at 0-2. Let's go from that game to almost the exact opposite as far as time goes, and that is the San Diego Padres and the Los Angeles Dodgers. This game lasted 5 hours and 36 minutes. It is in LA, so that means we'll say this started at 7 o'clock, but it is 10 o'clock Eastern time. This game ended at 4 o'clock in the morning on the East Coast, pretty much. So if you were up watching it, which you clearly weren't, great job, I guess. But the Padres were able to pull it out in the end, 6-5 in the 17th. This is just a fun game. I mean, back and forth, back and forth. The Dodgers used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pitchers in this game. 8 pitchers. And I don't know how many you carry, but that's more than half, I would say, of your pitching staff available. So tonight should be interesting as they try to recoup. Let's see, I'm just trying to read through some of this stuff here. If there was ever a, probably should have done this before. You know, I'm not going to do that right now. I was just trying to read through the play-by-play to see if anything interesting happened that I could talk to you guys about. But there was not. Yeah, I mean, that's basically it. It's just a fun game. Rodriguez hit his first home run for the Padres. Congrats there, buddy. No home runs hit, but wow, really, no home runs hit for the Dodgers in 17 innings. Oh, there's one home run. Just one. Interesting. Anyway, that was that game. So, I mean, Padres are 2-1, 17, and they get to move on away from LA here. They actually, no, they take on the Dodgers again. Is that right? 4-game series. Yeah, they'll open up with a 4-game series against the Dodgers in LA still, and with a depleted bullpen, you have to figure for the Dodgers. Dodgers can split easily, but you know the Padres are just a good team. Jair Jurgens will be going against Joe Whelan. Probably not going to get a great pitching matchup there, but we'll see. I've been wrong before, quite often actually. Let's get to the American League really quick, and I will probably speed this up a tiny bit. Toronto took down Baltimore 6-3 to even that series at 1-1. That was Takahita Tadakuni Fujita's first start of the year, and he will get the win. So congrats to the Japanese import on his victory. Baltimore drops to 1-1, and Toronto improves to 1-1. You know, the American League East is a very strange place. Other than the fact that I expected New York to dominate, which they have not, I was kind of up in the air on the rest of these teams, so I didn't know what to expect. You know, when Baltimore came out and won that game, I was yeah, fine. Baltimore won the game. I can get behind that. They're probably not the better team between these two, but you know, they got another good performance out of Sonny Gray. Decent performance out of the offense. Tommy Joseph hit his first home run of the year. This team will be okay. In our only interleague game of the day, Pittsburgh took down Boston 2-1. That's Boston's first loss. They both split 1-1. Nothing really to write home about there. Detroit took down Chicago 7-1, if I'm not mistaken. That is the second victory for them on the year. You know, I feel bad. I feel like I spent a little time talking about the White Sox last time and how I expected them to bounce back, and I don't think they did, obviously. 7-1, not the result you're looking for. Josh Johnson, 6 innings of great work, and then turn it over to Paul Clemens, who closed the door. Hard 3 innings worked and saved. Steven Matz went for Chicago, his first start of the year. His 6th start in the majors overall. Not quite matching the success he had last year, so tough break there, Steven. Hanging in there. Let's see, anything else to write home about? Carson Blair, the catcher, bang. I don't understand what you guys are doing with your leadoff spot. Apparently, our little co-commissioner here, I didn't mean to use the word little, Justin Kaiser, is claiming he started the whole bat your slow best hitters first, as opposed to the typical slow high OBP guy. But whatever, I'm confused by this. So anyway, we covered that. We covered this. Moving on, Texas took down Cleveland 5-2 to get their first win of the season and avoid a sweep. Cleveland had taken them down twice, and the Rangers came in, battled back here for a win in Cleveland. So, you know, again, Doug Moore said that he just didn't like his left. He ended up getting 2 out of 3, and a pretty good overall performance for his team. You can't be that broken up when you, I mean, how you scored, what, 17 runs over 3 games against one of the best offenses in the country. For Texas, let's see. Blumenthal just continues to salt in baseball. This dude is ridiculous. 417, 3 home runs, 7 RBIs, as he did hit his third today. Guerrero hit his second, another just monster on the ball. He hit 5 home runs in a year. That's not a whole lot, I guess. I mean, the Indians hit 5 during the series too, but still, it seems like a lot. So the Texas Rangers get their first W. Seattle takes down Houston 8-0. To get their second win and win that series. Nobody really expected the Astros to win this series, I don't think. Except maybe some folks in Houston, but there's always hope. When you split the first 2 games, there's always that hope. And actually, there's still hope because it's a 4-game series. I really did pay attention to what's going on. Mark Baker came out and dominated. Dominated is a strong word, but did have a great game. 2 for 5, 2 RBIs, hit a home run. His first as a Mariner. Congratulations. Him, Anthony Rizzo, went 3 for 5, 3 for 4, drove in 3 runs, got the walk as well. Castro's hitting the ball well, up and down. Other than Brandon Short and Garen Cecchini, this team is having a great start in Seattle. So, got to be happy there. As far as Houston goes, 5 hits, no runs, not great. Nicky Eovaldi is a hell of a pitcher, though. I mean, that dude can throw the ball, so you can't really fault him there. Aaron Crow had a terrible outing. But again, that's to be expected. I don't really expect anything out of him at any point this season. Minnesota took down Kansas City 9-1, and I clicked on the wrong one, so hang tight. Bear with me here. 9-1 victory in the second game of their series. So congratulations there. Josh Colliner went 6 2/3. Nothing really great right home. Dylan Bundy, who was the pitcher of spring, got lit up. An inning and a third, 5 hits, 3 walks, 6 runs, 53 pitches thrown, and he was pulled. Mitchell got lit up right after him, 2 1/3 for 3 runs, and then everything settled down. Michael Clayton came in, pitched a pretty decent game, and by that point the damage was done. There's just nothing you can do after that. Kansas City's offense struggling. That's nothing new. Let's see. Gary Copeland hit his first homer in a year. Expect a whole bunch of those coming down the line, folks. Gary Copeland is my pick for MVP this year. That guy can ball. George Springer struggled off the bat. That's about everything. I mean, there's some good stuff in there, but that's about as much time as I'm willing to give the Twinkies. We'll move on and talk about the biggest surprise, and I say that. Well, let me tell you the 2 biggest surprises, these next 2, and that would be the fact that Oakland won the series. Again, unless this is a 4-game series, it is. So my apologies. Hope I didn't just jinx you there, Oakland. But they took 2 out of 3 from the Angels. It is at home, so I guess you've got to kind of expect a little something like that. But I mean, two wins against the best team in baseball for a team that has struggled and not a lot of folks really expected much out of. Has been good pitching too. Trevor Rosenthal pitched great. The offense still, they're hitting the ball in a timely manner, I guess would be the way to put this. That's the official statement here, right? That they're not really getting on base a lot, but they're hitting the ball when it counts. Jock Peterson drove in a run. Pinch hit. Joel Drennan drove in a run. He actually had a pinch hit home run in the 9th inning. Pinch hit walk off. Wow. Okay, this is way more exciting than I let it off to be. It was tied here, folks. We were sitting in a tie game, and Joel Drennan comes in and pinch hits for Jason Kipnis. A big time, long time A, and he hits a home run to walk off on the game. So congratulations, Joel Drennan, and congratulations to the A's for picking up that victory. We'll see what goes on tonight. It's nice the tiebreaker is, or not tiebreaker, but it's 2-1. Can Oakland take 3 games from the Angels? I don't know. I would be shocked if they could. Especially, goddamn. I mean, look at this: 364, 429, 300, 375, 375, 333. Those are the batting averages for the Angels. And then you go down Oakland's lineup. You get 300, 182, 273, 222, 222, 83, 125, 200. Which team would you think would be winning that series right now? I would take the team on the left, the Angels, with the real batting averages. But I'd be wrong. It's all about timely hitting, folks. Anyhow, that leads us to the last series and my personal biggest surprise, the fact that the Tampa Bay Rays continue this assault on the Yankees. That series is actually over. This is a 3-game series. It's over. They swept them. They finished up with a 3-2 win over the Yankees. And panic, maybe, in the Bronx? I mean, I doubt it, but it is the Bronx. So you never know. I mean, Brad Wilgus is doing a great job taking over for Cashman, settling everything down. But goddamn, I mean, 2 runs on 2 hits, both in the first inning. This is not what the Yankees were hoping for. Basically, let's see, we got Justin Upton singled, and then Juan Francisco hit a 2-run shot, and then nobody touched the ball after that. Nobody got a hit. Zach Potter went 7 innings, struck out 10. I mean, he made a mistake to one of the most dangerous hitters in the game, and then just shut him down after that. So kudos to Zach Potter. He is a spectacular talent. The Rays did enough to win. Did they walk off too? And they definitely walked off with a win in the 9th. They scored a run in the bottom of the 9th, tied 2-2. Let's see. Let me read you through this real quick. Addison Reed comes in to pitch for the Yankees. Carlos Moncrief grounds out, and Shi-Sun Shang grounds out as well. So there are 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th, and tied game. Julian Silva walks. Roderick Shoulders was intentionally walked. And then we got a full count, and Ty Morrison hits a single up the middle, and Julian Silva scores. Wow. Okay, and that was a great game, a great finish, and that's everything I got. Some highlights really quick. I just wanted to mention. I don't think I mentioned Nate Eovaldi going 8 in the 3rd inning, striking out 10. Or the fact that Elliot Hernandez. So I mean, well, first of all, before I get past that, great outing from Eovaldi. I did mention that, but I didn't go to the stats. Great match from the Mariners. Elliot Hernandez in Houston is 1 for 11 on the series with 7 strikeouts. That's not great. Not great at all. Anyway, that is everything I've got for you. I don't know if y'all like this format. I mean, do you guys want me to keep doing reviews? I need some feedback, please. I guess either in the not the comment section. Screw that. Just tell me in the chat if you like this. Do you guys want to talk some more about some bigger theories on baseball? You want to talk about my love life? What do you want to hear about? I don't know. Probably not that. But yeah, let me know if you guys like this stuff. I'm always open to changing it up. This has been MLB Apparel Radio instead of working. Searching for treasures in his soul, fishing for gold. I found a key to unlock the door to my mind's gate, hidden with some hieroglyphs. Told me about my future and my past, and that I should get. It's like working in